Greenwich Mean Time on April 24th, and it will end exactly on the 25th at 12 a.m., so 24 hours after it starts. And it's going to be, it should be a fun 24 hours, and I'll go over, you'll be able to see what you're going to do in the challenge scenario, but for 24 hours. So during that, in order to judge the competition, we'll be using a set of tasks. There's going to be 20 tasks. There's milestone tasks, which will be completed during the competition, and there's 5 of those. So the first milestone you'll see will be 9 hours after the start of the final. So you have 9 hours to get things prepared, but after that 9th hour, we will be asking you to complete a task, or we will be telling you we're going to be completing a task. The task will actually be done by the judges, so we'll be logging in as one of your users and trying to execute a set of tasks. And after that, there'll be every 3 hours afterwards. So at the 9th hour, there's going to be a challenge, and we'll then 3 hours after that, there'll be another one, and 3 hours after that, there'll be another one. So they'll be happening every 3 hours. The last one happens 3 hours before the end of the competition. And we will give you, we won't just do the challenge at that time. We'll give you the actual challenge task 1 hour in advance. So you'll have 1 hour to get prepared for that task. And at that point, you'll see what it is. And then after the competition is over, there's going to be a set of 15 functionality tasks that the judges will do based on the scenario. Once again, using the credentials that you've been assigned, we'll attempt to complete those tasks. And these will be done by the judges after the competition ends. So you'll be resting peacefully, and we'll be continuing to work after that 24 hours. So the final judge, this is a summary of the criteria. There's 20 total tasks, and they're worth 100% of the score. So you will, right at the start of the competition, so at 12 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, at 12 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time, you'll get 2 documents. The first one is the scenario, and it is the same for all contestants. So all contestants will get the exact same PDF file. And it will be in your live messenger inbox when the competition starts. So precisely at 12 a.m., that should arrive in your inbox, and you'll be able to start reviewing what the challenge is. And in there it explains the scenario and what the requirements are in the scenario. And then you will also get in your inbox another PDF file, and this is your connection information. Don't share this with anyone. It includes passwords and connection accounts and things like that. So that's your own personal information, and so that will be in there as well. It'll tell you things you need to do to set up your scenario, such as IP address and domain names and things like that. I thought I'd include this so you can understand sort of how the scenario will work. Each student will have their own virtual host, as you can see right here. Each student will have their own virtual host, and you'll build out the virtual environment. So the virtual environment that you'll build will be this that I'm circling there. So, and that's described in detail. What those are the sort of an outline of the pieces, but the details of what those will look like will be in the scenario. Competition support. So all of you participated in a test that we conducted. Thank you for doing that. I appreciate you spending the time to have that happen. So we'll be providing, this is an online competition, and we're really leveraging online capabilities. So we'll have a Windows Live Messenger open throughout the competition. There is, and we'll be able to support, we'll be able to do either group support. So if there's a group question, we can post that in the IT Challenge group, which you're all a member of. And you've all tested your accounts. And then if you need to ask an individual question where you don't want to ask it for the group, then you can do individual IMs to judges. And you can see which judges are online or not at the time, and so you can ask your questions there. We'll also be using live meetings, specifically during the competition kickoff and at the end of the competition as well. And then in addition to that, for support, we have access to your host systems as administrators, and so we'll be able to, if you need assistance in resolving the problem, we can shadow your session to look at that and provide that. Once again, we can't provide technical assistance, but if there's some sort of question, we can assist with that. So we can provide that level of support if needed. In the scenario, you'll find that there are assigned accounts and systems, and in your own individual competition information, there's individual passwords. Those passwords are different for everyone. Use those accounts and passwords. The judges will be using those accounts and passwords to test the scenario. So use those assigned, for example, the passwords. Don't change the passwords, otherwise we will not be able to test your scenario, and you will lose points. If we can't test the scenario, we have to consider it not working, and in which case you don't get the points for the task. So use those passwords, use those assigned accounts. The assigned accounts, assigned users are Ken Smith, and the username is Ken, Laura Norman, and the username is Laura. The last one is Ben Miller, and his account is Ben, and Ben is also a domain administrator. So he's the general administrator. You have to make him a domain administrator in your environment. And Ken Smith and Laura Norman are users, so they have to be user level accounts. And lastly, there is 3 computer accounts that we need at a minimum. We need a workstation 1 to test with, and that will be connected to the internal network. We need a laptop 1 workstation. And that will be can be either connected or disconnected, like a laptop would be. They might be connected sometimes and working from outside the organization at other times. And finally, we've pre-created an internet kiosk for you in your environment, so that's already there. So once again, you need to have these things, and they shouldn't change, otherwise you will lose points. As you might imagine, there's a lot of software that's going to be needed to build out the scenario. And the software is already, the ISOs for the software are already on the systems. So we've included the operating system, Office, various application servers like Exchange, Office Communication Server, SharePoint, System Center. And these ISOs are all located on the C drive of your host, your virtual host. In Imagine Cup ISO directory. For the purpose of this competition, use evaluation versions. So you should need keys. If you do need, if you find that something you're installing needs keys, use the evaluation version or contact us and we can provide keys. We'll provide the same keys to everyone. If you need something else, if there's something you don't see on there, that you need, that you want for your scenario, let us know, and we will provide that to all students. So any request you make will be automatically given to every student in the interest of fairness. If you need to install any kind of hot fixes or service packs, you can download those directly from the internet. All the systems are connected to the internet. Or there's internet accessibility. It's filtered through a firewall, so we're monitoring that, and it's limited to HTTP requests. A word about the internet kiosks that we have are pre-configured. This is used for internet testing for users that are traveling and don't have a computer with them in your scenario. And this is already created on the